Good morning everyone, Steve Gannon at Stonecutters Ridge Golf Club and welcome back to Aussie Golf Pros. Now, as you know, we've dedicated the month of June to help you with your putting. And this morning I'm going to do a video on the 7 key things that I do to help me make more putts in a tournament or competition round. Let's get into it. Okay, well the first key point starts after I've hit my approach into the green. Not once I've got to the green, but as I'm walking up to the green. I'm having a look at the low and the high points and how the green is structured and where my ball is in relation to all of those hills and swales and low points and high points. Back in my early playing days, I learnt this pretty cool trick where as I'm walking up to the green, I visualize that it's pouring with rain. And I can see the rain coming down on the green, and then I can see where that water's rushing off to. And that really gives me not only an idea of where the low and the high points are, but actually how that ball's going to track or travel in different parts of the green. Then I can have a look at that as I'm walking up to the green in relation to where my ball is, and that starts my process of being able to read this putt. Okay, as I'm walking up to the green, I've done my first key point of just having a bit of an idea and surveying the highs and lows, using that visualization technique of watching the water run off and where my ball is going to go in relation to where I've actually hit it to on the green. Key point number 2 is always make sure you have a 360-degree read of your green, of your putt. I play with too many golfers that just go up behind the ball and have that one-dimensional view of the putt. It's good to have that, obviously, to have that view down the line of your putt, but you'll be very, very surprised about the different angles and what you can see from different areas of around the green. And so I'll always come up, firstly, as I'm approaching, especially if my ball is past the hole, I'll always come up from this side here. And again, even though I'm looking at this putt here, my eyes still scan over the higher points here, the higher points here, which is the lowest point of the low point. A nice side-on view. And again, not only am I having a look at the line, but I'm really having a look at the surrounding hills and low points. So I will go around all 360, the whole circular area of the putt. And I often do that before I've even gone and marked my ball. Please, while I've got you, don't forget to fix your pitch mark. You know, we have beautiful greens here at Stonecutters. The only complaint that I would have is people don't fix their pitch marks. I grew up with my old man used to always tell me, if everybody fixed theirs and somebody else's, we wouldn't have any problems. And there's not a truer word spoken. So fix your pitch marks. Okay, that brings me to phase 3. And this is an important one because you can hit the perfect putt, the perfect speed on the perfect line, but if there's any blemishes in that line or spike marks or old pitch marks or anything that can take the ball off that line, then that needs to be repaired. So what I always do, especially with the new rule change, which is pretty cool, we can actually tap down spike marks, I'll always just run the length of my putt and just have a bit of a look, tap down anything that needs to be tapped down. Of course, give something a little bit of a repair if it needs it. Just so that I know and I've got confidence in that if I hit the putt that I want to hit on the line and the speed that I want to, that it's not going to have an outside influence, it's not going to hold the putt. Now, we'll just add, don't take too much time with this. All this stuff that I'm doing can be done while your playing partners are having a putt, while you're waiting for somebody else in their pre-shot routine. Don't start this after everybody's had their putt and it's your turn and then you start going around and having a read. What I'm doing is I'm slowly walking around, stopping, waiting for someone to putt. Then I continue on with my routine. I continue on with having a look at the read, having a look at my line. I'm doing all this stuff in a timely manner so that we're always considerate of speed of play. Okay, phase 4 is a visualization technique. called putting to the picture, or I call it creating a Polaroid or creating a picture. I know that I've had a 360 view of my putt. I've had a look at the line from lots of different angles. I've had a look at the surrounding hills and swales, and I've got a general idea of what my putt is going to do. So from there, I'll stand behind the ball, have a visualization of where my putt's going to go. There's a couple of different ways that I do it. I like to either use like a football pitch white line, or I burn the line into the green. But any way that you can visualize exactly the putt from start to finish, you can either do it as a Polaroid, which I like to do, or I literally create the line and I take a snapshot of that. So I literally have a Polaroid of the intended putt. That brings me on to phase 5 of my putting routine for competition or tournament golf, or when I'm playing around. I like to visualize, depending on the length of the putt, I like to visualize the last couple of feet of actually the ball going in the hole. So one of the last things I'll do before actually hitting the putt is I will walk up down the line to the last couple of feet, and I'll visualize the break and the last couple of feet of that ball entering the hole. And then I like to use a clock face. So obviously if we've got 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then I'm visualizing at what time that ball's going to go in. So from here, it's going to come in at about 6:30 for this particular putt. So I come down to the last 2 or 3 feet and I just visualize that ball rolling in. There's 2 things that this helps me with. It helps me create a mind movie, an image of that ball going in, and I have it going in like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So I just visualize that ball, plonk, plonk, going in the hole, holding the putt, holding the putt, holding the putt, holding the putt. The second thing it does is, because I'm visualizing the putt going in at a certain angle into the cup, it helps me with speed too. That's just a personal thing for me. I'm not sure why it helps me with speed, but it always has. Just because I'm really pinpointing exactly where that putt goes into the hole, I get a real feel of the speed. Okay, now we're talking about actually hitting the putt. So phase 6 is I always like to approach my putt from side on, from a side angle in. And what I mean by that is once I'm ready to putt, I want to come in on the angle of my line. So I like to come in from the side on with my eyes looking down the line already. Which will allow me to align my putter head to my intended line much easier. Okay, that brings me on to my final phase, phase 7. This is the last thing that I do before actually stepping in and making my putt. After I've gone through my whole process, I like to look down the line. This is just a personal preference. There's no real reason why I do it, apart from just taking one last image of my Polaroid, my picture, my ball going into the hole at the correct speed and the line that I want it to. So I look down the line and I like to make one practice stroke. And I make that practice stroke by holding my finish. By holding my finish, it shows real intent and real commitment to what I'm trying to do, and trust in the line, in the speed, in the picture that I've created to hold this putt. One more look at the picture. Hold my finish. Then I come in sideways. Helps me align my putter head, and then align my body to the putter head. So as you can see, not all of them are going to go in. We're not going to make every single one. And that's okay, that's cool, because I gave myself the best chance to be able to make the putt. And that's all we have control over, is the process, not the outcome. But I did give myself the best chance because I went through my routine. Phase 1, walking up to the green, having a look at the land, having a look at the high points and the low points. Phase 2 was having a 360 view of my putt, having a look at it from all different angles. Phase 3 was walking down my line and having a look at any possible blemishes, pitch marks, spike marks that could throw my ball offline, tapping those down and fixing them. Phase 4 was standing behind my putt, having a look at the line and the speed that I wanted to hold this putt, and then taking a mental imagery picture, taking a Polaroid of that putt so that that sits in my subconscious, that sits in the back of my mind. I've really got a clear image of what I'm trying to achieve. Phase 5 was coming down to the last couple of feet of the putt and watching it going over and over again, but also taking note of what time on the clock face that it goes in. Phase 6 is coming in sideways to the putt, or what I call coming in sideways. I like to get on an angle with my eyes fixated on the line and move into the putt, watching the line. This also allows me to align my club face to my intended line and stroke the putt. Okay, the last thing I do, phase 7, as I'm just about to hit my putt, is stand behind and take one last look at the Polaroid that I've created, the picture, the image that I'm going to putt to, and then I make one practice stroke and I hold my finish. By holding my finish, it signals intent and it signals commitment. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really like what we're doing, please subscribe, please hit the bell. You'll get all the notifications on everything we do, and we're bringing out videos for you weekly. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon.